to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. Today, our guests are co-founder of a company called Hot Banana Games, a company that's committed to create authentic Asian-themed board games. And both co-founders have really brought the culture story to life with games like Moon Bunnies and Steam Up, and really aiming to both provide entertainment and education for the player. So thank you so much for joining us on today's episode.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us, Jason.
Yeah, and I think you have very, very interesting product. And being Asian myself, I kind of have to interview fellow Asian entrepreneur, correct?
Yes,
so I guess let me go ahead and first start. Let's start out with the story behind Hot Banana Games. What inspired you to start the game together? Well, first of all, how do you two even met?
So Maria and I, we met a long time ago playing badminton groups, and then through one of the meetups, that's how we met. And then eventually, after I started at magic shows back then, and then I asked her if she can help me with magic shows, and then afterwards. After we retired and we moved on to playing board games, and then we became like board game geeks, and then eventually our shelves were full of board games, and then we were like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if our own board game, we design our own and put it up on the shelf as well. And we were like, hey, that's not a bad idea, but what would we start with? And then so on my board game table is actually a drawing that I did as in elementary school, which was my favorite food that I like to eat, which was dim sum. And we were like, hey, dim sum is something that we have grown up eating, very familiar with, because, every weekend we will go out with our friends and family and then eat it and spend time together. And we were like, this would be a great opportunity to start designing a game about dim sum, which is called Steam Up.
I see. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And since you have background in magic, how come you didn't create game for magic instead, like magical games or like?
That's true. Maybe in the future.
Okay, I see. Very, very interesting. And as far as can we kind of also share, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit about creating a game from scratch is definitely quite a bit of work. Have you done any other similar type of design in your previous career?
Well, for myself, my completely background was actually nursing. I don't really create stuff, but like as my side hobby to alleviate from nursing, then I made origamis or crafting, and of course magic, coming up with my own things. So I guess the creativity started from there and then moved on to designing. And then how about you, Marie?
I think for myself, I come from a background with a design background. So I was in UX and UI design. So it's very easy for me to transition from UX UI to board game publishing, because the design process from ideation to the actual product is very similar. And I actually have the technical skill set to create board games as well. So that's why.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's very easy for me to transition. And that's why we need to partner up together. I have the technical skills. Pauline has the, public speaking and, other skill set that I potentially don't have. And that's why we make a great team.
I see. So what kind of UX design were you doing? Is it for app or for website? Or?
For any digital product, really. I do websites, I do applications, anything really. Yeah.
I see.
But and how do you mainly on digital? Yeah.
Focus mostly on digital. And can you give us some audience, like I guess, example for our audience of a few things that you learned from other design that you're applying to board games, and because a lot of board game designers actually don't have your background of designing for other digital media. So
I think the first step is pretty much just learning the process of what are the steps necessary to make a board game before you actually dig into it.
okay,
Like it's easier to come up with an idea,
yeah,
but
for sure.
then putting it into action is a lot harder than it sounds.
Of course.
Yeah, so like you have to understand like from having an idea, creating like a prototype, and then to testing, and then to iteration, changing it up to improve on the games, and how the game is manufacturing, and how afterwards doing marketing with Jason. Everything onward, it's a lot of to take, right? So I think it's you need to understand it before you're actually digging into it, and to decide if you actually want to go for it.
I see. And do you have a sample of your game with you today, either Pauline or Mary?
I do. I just have to go and grab it.
Oh, okay.
I have the newest games here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the newest game then that you have, you're currently working on? How does it work? Is it already published, or are you about to do a Kickstarter? What is the status?
Currently, we have it live on Kickstarter from February 10th to March 4th.
Okay.
We have raised over $130,000 now.
Oh, congrats. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And so basically a quick summary of the game is where you are representing one of the 4 lion dancers, and you're going around the board, jumping or moving around jongs and collecting festive items.
I see.
And eventually the cards that you use will be passed on to the next player. And then when you feel like you have collected enough festive items, then it's for you to go and what we call choice, meaning collect the lettuce and bring it home so you can spread your wealth and prosperity and count all your points. And then whoever has the most point wins.
I see. And I think did you guys launch it around Chinese New Year, because it's kind of seen around Chinese New Year?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's a game about Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, and so that's why we launch at this time. Yeah.
I see. And how long does this game take for you guys to design, from concept to prototype?
It's approximately 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long process.
Because we keep having to do play testing and fixing things and improving on it. Sometimes there might be like a barrier and people are not clear on a certain rules, then we will have to resolve it and then bring it back and then test it again. So on and off, and it'll be like 2.5 years. And finally, we confidently can say that we can publish this game.
I see. And looking back, what are some of the major challenges that you encounter when you try to create culturally authentic game for Western audience?
We find that like there's those who are familiar, it'll bring back nostalgia. But then for those who are not familiar, they will probably mix it with the culture that they're closest, that they know of. So for example, when we first designed Steam Up, as you know, it's for dim sum. And for those who don't know what dim sum is, basically small bite-sized dishes that's served on a steamer or on a lazy Susan and share among people who are during morning and breakfast and lunch. But anyway, so those people who are not familiar with it will think dim sum is sushi, and they'll mix it with Japanese, right? And it's not just one time; we heard it many times. So then we think this is a great opportunity to be able to teach them that there's more than Japanese. There's like Hong Kong culture, Chinese culture, and there's other cuisines out there as well.
Oh, I see. That's a very interesting point. I mean, being Asian myself, I will never confuse dim sum with sushi. But I guess for American or some Westerners that have never actually been to a dim sum restaurant, they might get a little bit confused, I guess.
Yeah. So. And which is understandable too, right? Because a lot of places don't really have accessible dim sum restaurants. Maybe
that's true.
They might be just familiar with like food court Chinese food, right?
True. Well, you mean the fake Chinese food?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake Chinese food for sure.
And then another example is like for Moon Bunny, when we presented to like different competition or different playtesting groups who are not familiar with it. Moon Bunny is in the Asian folklore, right, where the bunny goes up to the moon, either creating elixirs or making mooncakes. But to them, they were like, why is a bunny up on the moon and it's not an astronaut, or why is it not wearing a helmet, right?
Yeah. You kind of need to understand the story behind it to kind of understand the cultural, I guess, context. So that's kind of interesting. Have you think about like writing story that go along inside the board game? Well, maybe inside the board game, does it also come with a story explanation?
Yeah, there's actually it. So in Steam Up, it doesn't, the stories that are integrated doesn't really affect the gameplay itself. It's more like, oh, if you're interested, you can read about it. So we incorporate stories and all the background information in the rulebook itself. So as you read how to learn the game, you can also learn about why, like, what is this game about and how it got inspired. And at the same time, for example, in Steam Up, we have different characters. So they're all the 12 Chinese zodiac animals you can play as one of them. And then in the back of the player board, we actually have stories related to the zodiac. So the story about the monkey is actually inspired by the story behind Monkey King. So like we say that the monkey loves to reside near a waterfall, and then it's just a small reference to the Monkey King, the background story itself.
Okay. I didn't know this also included in that. Okay, that's pretty cool. And maybe that could be a whole separate game in itself in the future, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially with the 12 zodiac character. So, and how do you see board game as a tool for education and also cultural exchanges, especially for children or younger players that have never get exposure to like Asian culture or Asian like kind of story?
So we'd say it's a great opportunity to be able to play with with the children, but not only that, also our parents as well. So being able to bring cross generations together through a fun and an immersive way. It's just like kind of like dim sum, how everybody sits down and eat together. Same with the board game, you can have everybody sit down and then be able to communicate with a similar topic, right? So that the grandparents are not kind of like feeling left out because now they're playing a game that they're familiar with. And then for those like such as my friend, if they're trying to find ways to be able to teach their children, the next generation, about the culture that they grew up with. So like, for example, like again, like dim sum, they were they were able to teach them, oh, this is a hagao, this is shrimp dumpling, and then be able to teach them. And then saying like, oh, in our game we have like a dice that has 6 sides, but one number is missing, which is a 4. Or why don't we have 4? Or because it's a homophone pronunciation of like death in the Asian culture. So okay. And again, like as Marie said, the 12 zodiacs, being able to tell them, you're born the year of this and you are the year of the horse, for example, if you were born in 2026.
I see.
Yeah, so then we try to incorporate it into the gameplay so that it's easier for them to understand why we're doing what we're doing. And then also sprinkle all these information throughout the game. So like not just the rule book, but also maybe the player board or also the cards that you play. So it'll be like kind of reinforcement for them.
I see. Yeah, that's very important. And I know the Steam Up is the first one, right, that you created, but it was also highly successful on Kickstarter as well. Is there anything you did particular that make it so successful since it was your first one?
I think it's everything together. Back then, it just works well, especially during the time of COVID. It was kind of around that time, and everybody's stuck at indoors. And they I think for Asian people, they kind of miss going out and gathering together, especially for dim sum, right? And and dim sum is actually a very popular thing amongst not just Asian culture, but also like a lot of Caucasians or other culture, people from other culture, they know about it, right? So I think, and it's also a theme that is very new in the board game industry.
In the board game industry,
incorporate into the game. So I think everything all together kind of make it a successful product and also a
Yeah,
successful
when
Kickstarter campaign.
I was getting ready for the podcast, I think you got 8,250 backer and raised almost 600,000 for the first campaign. That is incredibly successful campaign for the first one that you haven't, since you have never done other Kickstarter in the past. So then, do you also hire like marketing company to get all the pre-launch and all the other things before the campaign launch? Or what was your strategy before the campaign?
We didn't hire anybody. We actually do our marketing ourselves back then.
Oh, okay.
Because it was we were completely new, right? We were a new company, new games, and so back then we didn't really allocate any budget or expect such a good reactions out of this game, and so we just do everything we can and everything that we learn to do marketing. I was responsible for digital marketing, like doing ads on Facebook or Instagram back then. Where else, Pauline? You are more responsible for spreading out the game organically, more in a more organic way.
Yeah, so basically going on Facebook groups or Discord or like joining different the tabletop simulator or any platform that has people playing games. And then also like connecting with content creators and passing the prototypes there. So I was more on the public side. Yeah, because I myself, I'm not very good at digitally. That's why Maria is like a professional at doing this.
Okay, well, it's good partnership, right? So I see. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And after the Kickstarter campaign, did both of you decide to go full time, or back then were you still doing this part time, or kind of walk us through on the business side on how do you handle the workload and everything?
We were both doing it as a hobby actually back then. We still have our full-time job, and this board game is a side hustle for us. We actually doing this. We actually didn't expect to have like any income from it or anything like that. It's more based on passion. And now, after a few years, how many years has it been? Like
2019 to now.
5 years.
So
6-7 years now.
Yeah.
So like I am full-time now. So
you are full-time,
I've been full-time about two years now.
2 years. Oh, congratulations. Okay. How about you, Pauline? Are you also
I'm still part-time?
We need to get you full-time too.
Getting there. We hope so.
Yeah, but I can relate to that. That's very, very common within the toys and game industry, because myself included, I started back in 2016 with my own toy brand. I was doing it part-time for the first 6 years. And then my sister joined me, a few years after I started, but she also kind of helped me on the part-time basis. So because it is a hard business model to scale.
Especially like products like board games. I don't know about other toys. The profit margin it's not that much.
Same as game, same as toys. Toys and game is similar. It's about high velocity, low margin. You just need to sell a lot.
You don't expect someone to buy a toy for $200, right?
Exactly. It's not like some kind of sexy IT, like a tech gadget.
Exactly.
So I can totally relate to that. And I think you guys have done an excellent job on the storytelling aspect of the games as well. I like how when I was reviewing the Kickstarter campaign, I really like how it is being presented, and also definitely I can tell just by the design, you got, both of you put a lot of effort and attention to detail on the way it's putting together, and make sure out of all the themes and dishes that you can choose from, you choose like 5 like most iconic one that out of all the different things that I could actually eat in the on the dim sum table as well. So.
Thank you.
So and as you're looking ahead in the next few years, what is the I guess the goal for the company? Like, are you trying to maybe publishing 1 more games per year, or what is the pace and what is the vision that both of you have for the company ahead?
We hope to be able to at least launch a game one game per year. So we do have a couple more games that's coming up after the Lion Dancer. And then along the side, we also want to be able to publish other Asian themed games. So for example, if like we want to bring in publish or designs from like Japan or like Korea. So anything that's Asian into the North America place, so that people can be able to be learn all the different types of Asian culture.
Oh, okay. You should definitely visit the Tokyo Game Show then. There's a Tokyo, there's a conference I'm thinking about attending in Japan this year too, later in this year.
Yeah, Tokyo Game Market.
Yeah, Tokyo Game Market. Yeah, that's the name of this.
Yeah, we do want to bring other culture games to our pipelines because there's only limited things we can. We both have a Chinese background, right? So if we design anything that is related to a culture, we can only design. We're kind of restricted to only design things that is related to the Chinese culture. That is why we want to bring in designers from other culture and other games, so we can introduce their culture authentically to different players around the world, basically.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that maybe I can contribute. I know a lot of people in the industry, not just in US but also globally as well. So yeah, so if I run into any interesting game, I'll make sure I help you make that connection.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to hear about it.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. And what was some of the most rewarding experience for both of you while developing all the different wonderful games that you're publishing so far?
For me, it's being able to make an impact on someone's life. For example, when we were first selling Steam Up in one of the conventions, one of the clients came up to us and said, thank you so much for creating this game. It brings back so much memories when I was a kid, when my dad brought me to dim sum, and then he starts crying, and I felt really touched because because his dad is no longer there, and it brought back the memories that as a kid, right?
I see.
And then so that one is very imprinted in my mind because of what he said. And then another one, this grandma came and said, I want one of everything. Don't need to pitch, right? And I was like, oh, okay. And then she said to us, we need more of you and bring honor to our culture. And I was like, oh, I feel so cool.
Okay, that's a really, really cool feedback. So, and also very touching as well. So,
yeah, I think for me, it's more personal. I actually, through board games, because I'm working on in this industry now, I got to connect back with my parents, actually. So as a little kid, I play board games and card games with my parents, but when I grow up, I start growing out of it, just focus on other hobbies. And now, back to my age, I'm in my 30s now, almost 40, and I got to connect back with my parents with board games now. So every family gathering, we'll pull a game and just play and introduce them to different games and different and we all have fun. So it's a way for me to gather the family and just have fun together.
Yeah, full circle, right?
Yeah, exactly. So back then they teach me games. My parents teach me games. Now I need to teach them to play games.
And they're super competitive.
They get pretty competitive too. Yeah. For sure. And I think the interesting about, I guess, both of you is, as a board game designer with background in obviously nursing and also magic, how are those experience influence the way both of you approach the game design? And obviously, if there's anything that you were able to take from your previous career into the current business, feel free to share a few things that you were able to apply to.
For me, nursing magic has been able to teach me to critically think, adapting to changes, and being flexible, because things are always going to be changing. Like you may take one step, but then it might affect something else. So same thing in board game, right? You may put your work, let's say you play a meeple and place it onto a spot, but then it might affect everything else. So then or someone's plan someone will ruin your plan. So you need to adapt and be flexible. So kind of like, nursing as well, when someone is like crashing you that you weren't expecting, then boom, you have to do things right away. So being able to be adaptive, that has helped me with the design. So in a way, like I will always have to think, okay, if plan A doesn't work, plan B. Plan B doesn't work, let's go back to plan C or something like that, right?
And maybe D, E, and F as well.
Exactly. Keep making plan A, B, C, D, because the same thing in real life, there's always going to be ever changing, right? It's never always going to run smooth.
For sure. That's always, always going to be some kind of problem, for sure. How about you? How about for you, Mary?
I think for me, because I more have a technical background, and when I design something, I always have in mind, is this a good product to market it out there, or is it a good product that the design, like the market itself would like, right? So every design decision or like how the game works, I kind of have to think about that.
Okay.
So well, I would still want to keep it fun, or like it's culturally authentic to whatever we trying to design. But there's something like that always goes into mind when I do certain changes and do certain mechanics, incorporate certain mechanics into the board game. So yeah, for me, like a board game itself is a passion, but it's also, to me, like on the other side, I need to see if it's good for our business, right? So that's how I feel it. Yeah,
for sure. So, and I think looking back, obviously the company that both of you created has been extremely successful since the very beginning. So looking back, if you have to share just one piece of advice with someone else that's also getting started within the table and tabletop board game industry, what would that be?
So for me, the one is actually split into ABC days. Well, but it's actually called the 4 C's that I kind of came up with. As C for creativity, critical thinking, communication, and commitment.
Okay.
So being creative, be passionate about what you want to bring, and then critically think, like being flexible with your mindset. So taking someone's feedback and thinking of other ways that can help you achieve your goal. And the communication, being able to communicate, to your partner, like Marie, talking to like marketing company or like manufacturer, being able to continue the next process. And last one is commitment, being able to follow through from your project, from the time you design all the way to manufacturing and fulfilling to your backers.
I see. How about for you, Mary?
I think remember your passion. It's very important, especially as your first project, and as you go on, sometimes you kind of forget that kind of passion. So it's very important for you to remember why you begin and be passionate about it, and that's how you can become successful in a way in this industry anyway, in the toy industry itself. It's really important.
I think that's a very good piece of advice, and something I'm also guilty of, because there's so many different things when you run it's because it's really a business.
Yes.
So there's so many different aspects. There's tariff, there's like tax, there's marketing, there's a logistics, there's operation. Sometimes you get lost in the weeds sometimes and forgot like why do you even started the company to begin with. So that's a very, very good reminder. So as we are kind of wrapping up today's interview here, for those our audience that would love to learn a little bit more about you, your product, and your brand, where is the best place for people to find you online?
Through any of our social media, like Facebook or like Instagram at Hot Banana Game, or on our website, hotbananagames.com, and our link tree through Hot Banana. So,
well, most importantly, you feel free to check out our Kickstarter right now, which is Lion Dancer. Just go to Kickstarter.com and search for Lion Dancer, and you'll find our game. And check it out.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. We'll make sure we put that all in the show note. And thank you for both of you for your time and your sharing your experiences and sharing your journey so far within the toys and game industry.
Thank you.
And thank you for our audience for tuning in for this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We hope today's conversation give you some practical insight and fresh inspiration for growing your own toys or game brands. This podcast is proud to be brought you by Toy Launch, a leading marketing and growth partner for toys and game company. At Toy Launch, we help brands scale on Amazon and beyond through full service account management, advertising, SEO, creative, catalog optimization, influencer marketing, and more. If you're looking for a proven team that understands both the toys and game industry and e-commerce marketing, we're here to help. If you like a personalized breakdown of your brand, your opportunity, and your best next step, you can schedule a free consultation session with us. Simply visit toy-launch.com/schedule. If you'd like to connect with other toys and game founders, feel free to join our free community, Toys and Games Launchpad, at toy-launch.com/group. For more resource update and industry insight, visit us at any time at toy-launch.com. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joys to toys. This is Jason Shea signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.